I haven't talked to him about it.
All right, counter's working.
I'm fascinated. I mean, it's similar to when 29ers came around, you know. It's like, is there really that big of an advantage? Is it going to be that great? Here we are, everybody rides 29ers now, so I don't think it's going to be the same thing with 32, but
Can we save this discussion for the show? Come on,
I didn't know
guys.
how long Papa was going to mess with his brand new computer.
We're there.
Okay.
We're there. And
All right.
you screwed up my keyword intro now.
Oh.
Our search optimization was working so well, and now you've just hosed it all to hell.
It'll be all right.
I know. It's all fine.
Start over. Take two.
No, we're not going to do that. That's way too much trouble. ShiftLess episode 141, I do believe. And well, obviously we're going to be talking about 32-inch bikes somewhere in the mix. There was did you realize our buddy Ian had some 32s?
I did see that article.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
Where they were testing them at North Shore.
Yep. We've got some bike packing stuff that we're going to front load this with. That's pretty important. I need your feedback, both y'all, on what to potentially do on this. My head's not working properly, so 3 heads are better than 1. Got a feeling we'll probably talk about time trial bikes at some point in the discussion today.
You want to go fast, you got to be fast.
And Bradford, please introduce our guest today.
It's the one, the only Mr. Austin Whittington. Not to the camera, so the camera knows to look at you.
Mr. Austin.
Happy to be back.
Happy to have you, sir. Happy to have you.
There's much buzz in the cycling world, but that's my biggest question: is it legitimate, or is it like just a smoke and mirror show with the whole 32? That's what I was about to get to. Is like, it's hard to differentiate whether it's like a false buzz just to create hype.
Attention.
Yeah,
Right.
in the cycling industry. Is it, you know, it feels like the cycling industry's been circling the drain for a couple of years, and this is like a life preserver, like, hey, we got a new thing, come check us out, you know. I think it's creating buzz, whether it's justified at this point or not. I don't know. I haven't ridden one. I haven't even seen one in person, but I cannot freaking wait. And I know that it's, you know, there's some people that are like, you're just fooling yourself or whatever. But like I said earlier, I think it's very akin to when 29ers came around. Who knows where we'll be 2 years from now?
Right.
Maybe we'll all be on 32s. Maybe 32s will die, you know. But I definitely don't think it's a one-size-fits-all solution. Tire size as well. Or speaking of,
I love the word conspiracy, and this doesn't quite fall into conspiracy level, but it's pretty close. That there's no denying the cycling industry's hurt.
oh yeah,
Since COVID, it's just gone downhill, and
yeah,
then 32's catching on. These big brands need something to sell,
yeah. I think that's,
and that's a new wheel set,
yeah.
a new frame,
I mean, in all kinds
new
of,
stem, new
Yeah.
handlebars.
Yeah.
Everything's got to change.
it's a big influx. I mean, and even people are talking about bigger brakes, but bigger brakes already existed. But
Yeah.
you know, now you can't just slide everything off of your 29er onto a 32-inch.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that was a big thing after COVID. People just started doing frame swaps, keeping their old,
mhm,
you know, SRAM Red or Dura-Ace group
Yeah.
set, and just getting a new S-Works or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
And just swapping the frame rather than buying a whole new bike. 32 comes along, that's a whole new bike you have to buy.
yeah. And I think that's part of the intention, whether it's purely intentional or if it's just a creative byproduct. I think there's gonna be an influx in sales, even if it's temporary.
Or you
in
could
cycling.
even compare it to disc brakes.
Yeah.
You know, in the maybe 2014s, 15s, when disc brakes really started catching on, that was a big thing. Like buying a new bike's not a big deal, but buying that carbon wheel set, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
That's an extra $2
Yeah.
grand on top of the bike.
yeah. And then, but you've gotta either augment your frame set and weld on disc tabs, or you buy a new frame set, you know, and that's a new fork, a new frame, new brakes. I mean, I see where you're going, and I totally agree. It's like, it's going to be a big shakeup if it catches on. So we shall see.
And I think maybe 32's probably got a little more ride characteristic influence over disc brakes.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Other than mountain bikes, like disc brakes on mountain bikes was a game changer, but gravel bikes, I think rim brakes are still relevant on gravel and even road.
yeah,
The marginal gains aren't quite as big as they are on mountain bikes. Being able to stop with disc brakes is huge on mountain bikes.
But what
Maybe.
about the aero for rim brakes versus disc brakes? I mean, if you're
Um,
talking about elite gravel.
I think Aero's rim brakes are still more aero than disc brakes.
Oh,
are.
really?
Yeah. So the hoods are smaller, so you got to think about the aerodynamics over the hoods, and then
That's
there's
true.
the pumping loss over the disc brake calipers, just airflow from the side hitting
Yeah,
the rotor rather.
that is a valid point. I hadn't ever thought of that. I was thinking about the straight on, you know.
Yeah.
What you looking for?
I was just people rolling trash cans.
Okay. All right. And there's Lucy right there. She's hanging out.
And also weight
Just gonna
between
keep it
disc
safe.
brakes and
Yeah,
rim. Rims are still lighter.
yeah, especially when you're talking about the high end ones.
So what's next for Austin? What are you working on? What's your project? What's your goal?
Well,
What
right now I'm working on getting my TT bike dialed in. We've got state TT race coming up in a couple weeks. Still not 100% committed to it, but I'm gonna try to get ready for it just in case we decide to go down. It's in Hempstead, Texas, just outside of Houston.
So yeah.
So super flat. Probably gonna be windy.
What's
and
the
humid.
format? Is it like an out and back? Is it point to point?
Yeah, it's an out and back, kind of an L shape.
Uh-huh.
Only one U-turn, one hairpin turn, just turning around and coming back super
Distance?
fast. I think it's a 40K, so
28.
20 miles or so. Yeah, under an hour,
Hey.
under 50 minutes, really, ideally.
Yeah. And who are the competitors at the state level for TT?
Man,
Are there people?
I know. I looked at the results last year or the year before, and Nielsen Powell's won.
Yeah.
So if he shows up, obviously that he's in a league of his own against amateurs. But
Yeah.
yeah, he got the course record obviously, but he also got the course record for the team time trial when he was solo. So he beat all the 4-man teams just by himself compared to the amateurs. That's the level that he's on.
That's hard to comprehend unless you just have a bunch of teams that can't work together, and I can't imagine that you have a 4-man TT team that doesn't.
Well,
work together.
his threshold is the VO2 max of us normal people. So we're he's just riding that threshold while we're riding as hard as we can.
Wow.
So how does the state time trial format work? Is it just show up one day and do the TT, or is there multiple sessions?
No, that's
or?
it. Just one day. You get scheduled a start time. You show up on the start line at your scheduled time, and you go.
They do 2-minute intervals, or
I'm not sure if it's
Or 1
30
minute.
second or 1 minute or 2 minute. I'm sure it's probably on the shorter side. Probably not quite 2 minutes.
because it's such a short course.
Yeah.
And they run the same course every year for the past couple of years at
I
least?
believe so, yeah. I think it's been the same for 10 years or so.
Okay.
So there's a lot of data out there for me to go
and
over.
That rig, the way you have it set up, is pretty much how it's going to run.
And it's fast.
Wheels,
It's,
tires.
so this was I rode it this morning. That was the first time I rode. Tires will change for the day. I've got the GP 5000s on right now, but
Yeah.
there's quicker options.
Yeah.
They'll save, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 watts for
Yeah.
the pair. Then I don't have a TT helmet yet. I've got to find a good TT helmet. Hopefully I can find one to borrow, so I don't have to buy one.
Yeah.
Then shoes and pedals will change.
Yeah.
But I think my position's pretty good on it, just out the box, just how I have it set up first ride.
When you change your shoes and pedals, do you consider that in your fit? I mean, does it change your stack height?
Stacks. I think stacks a little lower with the SPDs. It's a little higher with the speed plays.
Yeah.
So I'll go up a little bit on my seat.
Yeah. And your cleat interface and everything raises your foot up as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So saddle will go up about half a mil, and then forward about half a mil. So
Yeah.
it's not a huge difference.
Yeah.
But it's noticeable.
And how do you? What's your feedback on that? Do you have a video system you run, or
No, just by feel there's a website called My Windsock. It'll give you an estimated CDA. You put in all the info that you have, weight,
Yeah.
rolling resistance of the surface, and you use your best guess,
Yeah.
and it spits out a number, which is the CDA, which is the coefficient of I can't recall what the DA stands for, but it's basically the profile of your shape,
Yeah.
body going against the air.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't think it's dead accurate, but it's good enough
Sure.
to compare ride to ride.
Yeah.
And also you could feel the
Yeah.
difference here and there.
Yeah. And then what about you? Aero socks. You
Yeah.
running a
Yeah, shoe
skin
covers.
suit, shoe covers.
Skin suit. I've got a speed suit, and it's pretty good. I think there's faster options, but I'm not going to spend you know, $300 or $500 on a new outfit.
And you run a bottle for that distance or no?
No bottle.
Yeah, no cage.
Mm-mm.
Okay. No tool bag.
Yeah, I took it off for my ride today just to see.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's any faster, maybe a few watts, but
yeah,
yeah,
every little bit counts.
Worth it,
you know.
yeah.
I just wonder how much, you know, because I don't ever think about TT, but I imagine, you know, you're looking for every little gain you can get.
Yeah, so the liter bottle and a bottle cage is about 8 to 10 watts.
Yeah.
On a bike.
Yeah.
From the research I've done.
How are the categories set up for state TT?
I think it's just P1, 2, and then there's a 3, 4, then or 3, 4, 5 or something. I'm not sure, but I think it's just one category for the elite.
Yeah.
Any idea how many people you'll be
It's not
up
many.
against?
It's not many. Maybe 5 real competitors, and then maybe 20 total or something like that.
Yeah. In your category.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I have no doubts you'll be in the top tier.
Thank you. We'll see if the fitness is so different in that position. So we'll see if the watts will come up in the next week or two.
Yeah, it's definitely calling on different muscle groups.
Yeah, it's more like just real heavy on the hamstrings being bent over like that.
Yeah.
Do you get a pre-ride on the course?
No, I don't think I'll be able to pre-ride it. But just from looking at it's dead flat. There's no hills. I think it's like maybe 50 or 60 foot elevation gain over the.
Well, you said Houston. That was enough.
Yeah. And it's going to be windy and probably humid.
It'll definitely be humid.
Yeah.
And what's the date of this one?
May 9th.
Okay.
Coming up.
So Mother's Day weekend.
2 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm cutting a little close with all this testing, but it's fine.
I expect nothing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Pressure.
Worst case, I don't go.
Pressure's a good thing.
Pressure builds diamonds.
There you go. Anything else that you're working on after that, or is that your focus at the moment?
That's my main focus right now. I don't really have any long-term goals.
Thought I heard something out there. My bad. How about you, Bradford? What's new in your world?
Man, I'm just going to make salami this week, and I'm so excited. Rode my bike yesterday.
Okay.
I rode the longest I've ridden in forever, and it was only 38 miles. But
I saw you guys did the ramble action.
Yeah, I've not been riding. We rode from here up to Denton, and, you know, it was windy as heck yesterday.
Yes, it was.
And I was like, hey, look, I don't want to keep riding with a tailwind.
Because you got to turn around.
Yeah. I was like, because then we got to turn around. Booker showed up. First time he's ridden since, he said December. And we were both hurt and struggling. But we turned and went south from Denton all the way down to the bridge. And it was just a 15-mile-an-hour headwind the whole way. It was just humiliating. But then we had a decent tailwind on the way home. But I was on the struggle bus. I just haven't been riding. I don't know why I'm not faster.
No tell.
No.
So, are we back in riding mode now, or do you need some more
I'm trying to
gumption to make that happen?
No, I'm trying to slowly bulk back up. I got down to where I was riding once a week, if that, which is, you know, sometimes it's hard to find motivation. That's the other reason I just enamored with your constant effort. Like,
yeah, for me, I don't really need a long-term goal to motivate. I'm self-motivated, but I understand the need of having an event to look forward to.
It's not even an event. It's just sometimes other things take precedence over riding, and it's just like and the problem is, just like anything, I mean, riding is a workout, but it's also a head clearer and everything else. But, you know, it's like once you skip a couple of rides, it's easier to keep skipping rides.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a snowball effect almost. And then once you start riding again, like I rode yesterday, and it's like, this hurts so bad. And I miss the days when I would have gone out and rode that, and it would have been like, okay, what's next, you know? But I cramped. I did all the things.
You went through all the emotions. You almost started crying out there.
It's like, God, I'm so soft now.
Well, you need is a new bike.
Yeah.
That's always a good motivator. You just want to ride the new bike when you get it.
There is a 32-inch Thai Fargo coming out.
I heard.
That is legit. It has been announced. It is no longer a rumor.
That's what you need.
And that's the thing about 32. The other thing is, you know, I don't think it's going to be every discipline bike. I think TT bikes, I think it's actually going to have a place in going fast in a straight line. I think gravel, like as long as it's not very technical, meaning bunch of climbing. I think it's going to do really well there. Moderate cross-country trails, that aren't like super switchback and
Steep, straight
technical
trails.
and stuff. I mean, even in some of the technical stuff, I think it may do pretty well, but
Oh, definitely do better in the technical stuff as long as it's not tight turn fast.
turn.
It's tight turn seems to be the Achilles heel at the moment, which is completely understandable.
But calling back to when I was talking to Matt Malone of Nature Trails out of North Carolina, they're just with the advent of e-bikes, they were starting to restructure the way they build trails because of more speed. They're making the turns more sweep.
Sure.
So even with a 29er format, but under a lot more power, they were catering the trails to that.
Well, I mean, generally speaking, the rest of the country has kind of gotten on board with flow trails.
Yeah.
It's all new trail though. There's a whole lot
Yeah.
of existing trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take the 29er up to Cross Timbers.
Yeah.
It's not doing
Yeah.
over
32.
29.
Yeah.
Like
You
that's hard up there
We-
with the 29.
We had our growth spurt in trail mileage at the point where the trail stewards were fighting over who could get the most mileage down.
Right.
Yeah.
And they did that with a lot of back and forth in a very small area.
Yeah. We're
So
looking at two
we have a lot of 12. I'm not naming names.
I will.
We have a lot of 12 and 15 mile trails. It really should be 8 miles.
Yeah.
You
sort of
remember
thing.
when Knob Hill was out and back?
Yeah.
Super fast, a straight line.
Yeah.
You get done with it in 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Then they came in and looped it.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like it is what it is, but they definitely did that. Added as many, switchbacks and off-camera stuff as they could just to get a little extra mileage.
I do like that it's out and back though, because you're not just riding the same trail, you know?
You mean looped?
Yeah.
You prefer that.
Oh yeah, looped. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sorry. That being said, I wish that they would. I wish more trails around here would reverse. Like this month we're running it backwards. I think it.
It's so
You
hard.
do that any day.
It's so hard to get the message
Just
out.
get yelled at.
Yeah. You could just post it at the trailhead.
I don't read the signs when I get to the
Right.
trailhead.
You don't read if it's closed
That's
or
not-
open.
Okay, I see these closed to open
Put it
signs.
right there. Normal, reverse.
It past the green and red.
Yeah.
And if I'm at a new trail and I don't know where to look for that data,
That's fair. I understand it's hard to
and it's never closed for hikers, technically speaking.
When you guys ride at night on the trail, do you ride it backwards?
typically. Well,
But some people don't know that.
Yeah.
So we just run into.
but we
oncoming traffic.
always yield to anybody that's oncoming.
Yeah.
Unless we're rolling 15 and there's 2 of them.
Yeah, you're not racing when I start.
Yeah. But the benefit of riding backwards at night is you're not going to sneak up on anybody. You're not going to have a front end collision with somebody because you can see them for half a mile away. you know?
True. You see the light through the trees for a bit.
And we're generally really good about calling everybody like incoming, riders up, blah, blah, blah. So there's communication even if they're on the back of the trail, the back of the chain, So I think, technically we normally ride North Shore backwards for our night lab once time changes,
Yeah.
So
An hour later.
yeah, and we started doing that like 5 or 6 years ago. So I think there's more awareness of it. We thought there was going to be a big to-do on Dorba or something when we first started, but I haven't really heard any backlash from it. But like I said, we try to be respectful too, But nobody's out there trying to get a Strava section at night,
Yeah.
That's
not going to happen.
So, but I think that trail, we're only talking about the east side of North Shore, but I think that trail is a completely different trail backwards, and it gives you a lot more appreciation for the trail. And I was saying one of the last times we rode it backwards, I was like, I wish that they would change it up, because the way the trail would groom in would be beneficial for even riding it forward. Just way the turns would kind of open up a little bit, it would just kind of change the flow of the trail a little bit. And maybe it would be a net negative, I don't know, but I feel like it would be a positive, especially because there's a lot of tree limbs and stuff that you don't ever encounter when you're going the forward, the regular direction that you encounter on the backwards. And if we groom the trail to be ridden both directions, I just think it would be a overall better experience.
But when you do go both directions on it, that is when it widens the trail considerably.
Slightly.
Yeah, pretty considerably. Because
only in apexes,
well, if it's a twisting turn, it's all It's all apex. It's all the going ins and coming outs, and now you're widening it on both sides of it, sort of thing.
Speaking of Apex, decent movie, worth watching.
Oh yeah.
Don't know that one.
Charlize Theron and I can't ever remember that guy's name. British actor. He's been in.
That narrows it down.
Flicks has been pushing that one.
Yeah, younger kid. He was in. His name was Muggsy in. It's like a British. Not James Bond, but like secret society deal where they were all, I'll think of it in a minute. You'd know him if you saw him. Kingsman, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the main character in that. He's been in multiple other
Yeah, he's in a
things,
bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he plays the villain in the movie, and to say it's sinister is kind of a downgrade.
All right.
It's a thriller movie, but there's some jump scare situations in
High
it too.
octane chase.
Kind of. But it has a lot of outdoor activity that's very well portrayed. There is some dramatization for, movie quality where you're like, nah, they wouldn't have done that, kind of thing. But
Sometimes you got to shortcut it for the movie.
But overall, very good. Very good.
And back on 32. Have you heard of FlexFit by John on Instagram? He's doing a bunch of rolling resistance saddle tires. No. Well, he started doing 32s, and he's found that it's significantly faster.
Yeah, the
rolling.
Peyote is the fastest tire they've ever tested. Yeah.
Mountain bike tire.
Yeah. Oh,
that's what he found also. Maybe that's what you're referring to. But
yeah. I didn't know where that info came from, but they were talking about it at Sea Otter.
Yeah, that's the big talking point that they're leaning. Oh, they're the fastest tires ever. They're the fast. Okay, straight line speed, they're fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I was going.
TT
with that.
is good.
Yeah, like I think
someone riding by themselves at Unbound.
Yeah, I think a course like Unbound is probably on the edge as far as how much climbing, because I think you're really going to suffer pushing those big wheels up the hill, and that's the other thing we didn't talk about is gearing is going to change with 32.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, it's going to be a reduction in chain ring size, but I can imagine that people are going to get away from pie plates, or not get away from pie plates. I don't think we should make them any bigger, So it's going to have to be
more mountain bike gearing on gravel.
Mm-hmm.
More UDH frames.
But I think a course like Race Across Texas, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, something like that. Something with a lot of sand and rough roads.
Yeah, because like I said, this is all just based on my thought process of how I anticipated riding, because I still haven't ridden one. But I think once you get those wheels spinning, they're going to keep working for you, I mean, it's rotational weight is all you're really dealing with. They're saying that even frame and fork and wheel set, they're gaining like a net 2 pounds, which
pound and a half to 2 pounds.
Yeah, which is not monumental.
That's pretty huge.
I'm about to say that's
15% on a 15-pound bike.
But if you're not lugging it uphill, if you're straight lining it, and there's aero benefits and there's less power input necessary once you get rolling.
That FlexFit by John showed like a 3% loss in aerodynamics or something
really?
with the bigger wheels.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how comparable that was.
What was the net rolling resistance advantage?
I don't think it was quite that much.
But
so
you got to imagine, at the speeds he tested in the wind tunnel, I'm not sure what that was. I don't think it was 10 miles per hour like a realistic mountain bike speeder.
Yeah.
It's probably 30K or 25K.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great 15-mile-an-hour bike. It's going to be
it's probably positive at 15 miles per hour.
It's going to be an iffy 20-mile-an-hour bike with flat to downhill. It's going to be a crappy 20-mile-an-hour bike going uphill.
If you're doing 20 miles an hour uphill, you're doing RK anyways.
Well, that's another thing going uphill. In my experience in the top level races, I'm not getting dropped because I'm rolling 1 watt faster or 1 watt slower on the flats. It's when we're accelerating is when you get dropped, when you're already at your limit and then they go harder.
Yeah.
And the bigger tires, bigger wheels are going to be harder to accelerate.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the place. We may have already talked about this, but maybe it's not the place for the front of the peloton just yet. But I think, like we said, if somebody's solo TTing Unbound or Race Across Texas, it's going to be probably more beneficial, more comfortable, and just as fast, if not faster.
Yeah.
I think the comfort aspect of it over lots of miles, lots of rough miles, is where the big benefit's going to be, almost like suspension.
Yeah.
To some extent. So I look at it as its biggest advantage. is that it's a 2-pound suspension system, generally speaking.
Well, your spokes are an inch and a half longer on each side, so you're gonna have more flexible wheels.
Yeah.
That's vertically and laterally. So maybe not that's gonna be detrimental to cornering even more with flexible wheels laterally.
Yeah.
Again,
but better compliance vertically whenever you're going over rough gravel stuff.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of bird spoke builds. So
yeah, and that scares me. That's gonna be super flexible. I've done a couple bird wheels, and I just had to stop using them. They just didn't work for me.
Too flimsy.
Too flimsy. Yeah. So my first set I did with I9s and 32 spoke because I figured it's gonna be a little flexy, so I did as many spokes as I could.
Yeah.
And that was pretty decent. I didn't really have any problems with that one. And the next one I did just a standard 28 spoke with a light hub and a light rim, and I just couldn't ride it.
Yeah.
It was just way too flexible. Yeah, noodles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think a 135-pound guy who's, not ripping corners as hard as I am, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
Maybe someone living in Colorado climbing more is more beneficial, but
yeah,
for me it didn't work.
Yeah, I'm infatuated with the technology and the looks, but everything I've understood, they're not the best wheels to go fast.
Yeah.
They
definitely are more comfortable, I'd say.
Yeah. What are you doing? Did we stop recording?
No, we did not.
Just to the point that 32.
But the screensaver kicked in, so I wanted to turn it off.
Shoelace spokes, it's going to be flexible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless we start seeing higher spoke counts, 38, 42, something like that.
Well, 36 is already a standard. I mean,
is it?
It goes 32, 36, and then, 28,
if we could see 36 or even 38 and bump it up a couple more, because there's definitely more surface area on the rim for that.
Yeah, that's very true. I hadn't even thought about that point.
That's less aerodynamics, more spokes, less aero.
You got to go bladed spokes, man.
Birds coming out with some fabric bladed spokes.
No, but I run bladed spokes on all my bikes.
Same.
Yeah.
I do the Sapien Sprint, just the thick bladed ones. I don't do the CX Rays anymore. I just like it. I prefer stiffer wheels.
Mine are CX Rays, but I've always built them like that just because they're lighter and they're stronger.
Yeah, and it's easier to build.
Yeah. Yep. So, and I've had really good luck with them. I think I've got maybe 4-wheel sets built like that. So, and just cheap ass
industry standard.
Yeah, cheap ass Nexty carbon hoops.
CX Rays.
So, how tall are you, Austin?
I'm 5'8".
5'8".
About 160 right now.
We could squeeze him onto a large 32-inch Fargo.
With the slam of the saddle,
with the dropper all the way down.
yeah. I'm gonna be looking like Pee Wee Herman on that thing.
So I do have a request for the build. Do we have tires picked out yet?
I believe Nico does.
Damn it! Because Victoria came out with the Mezcal.
I know that
32.
I think we're going to be obligated to
Maxxis.
No, Terravel.
Terravel. I think Terravel means heavy in French.
It's going to be a steel Fargo.
Weight is not the concern.
But it's going to be purple, I do believe.
Just really want some Mezcal 32s.
Well, after
pay to play, Brad.
After it gets broken in, we'll see. We'll see. We're guessing at this point. It may not even ever show up.
So is that going to be a shop bike that he's building, or someone bought one?
I don't know the details. Kevin's very elusive with it.
I don't know. I don't know that we don't know the details yet, but we have claim on a large steel Fargo at the moment, and I think we're calling it the Dusty Roads ShiftLess Spinistry timeshare mobile somehow or another.
So that's the other thing that I think is brilliant. Shannon and I have talked about this numerous times, that all these people that are coming out with production 32s, they're only issuing them as a frame and fork, which I think is the smartest way to do it as far as the industry goes, is because we'll produce the frame and fork, you figure out all your bits.
I mean, that's about to change.
You think so?
Yeah. Again, I think Unbound is going to be where that changes.
Yeah.
Cannondale, maybe. Yeah. I didn't think Cannondale was big enough to be the driver, but maybe they are. Maybe
they're always innovative.
Maybe they're putting all their eggs in that basket. So, it doesn't seem like it's Trek. So
unless they're just doing it quietly,
possibly.
Yeah, Trek's pretty top secret about.
Yeah,
I understand.
And there's a reason that
Cannondale.
Fox is making a 32-inch fork. They didn't
But
just,
that's what I'm saying. One of the big guys is coming out with an off-the-shelf 32.
yeah,
I'm guessing XC and gravel very soon,
yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah.
I think Unbound is definitely going to be unveiled.
yeah. Just June?
Yeah, or end of May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever done Unbound?
I've not.
Why not? Distance? Travel?
No, definitely not distance, but yeah, just the whole thing, getting in the lottery and then getting the spot, and
Yeah.
been having to fight for food.
I
the
bet
day
we could get you
before.
in. I could make a few calls.
You know some guys, high places.
Yeah, I think you could really excel in that environment, you know?
Nice.
Yeah. But I also don't know where your sweet spot is, you know, when it comes to distance. You know, some guys are great at 100 and suffer at 120. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna suffer at whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever distance I go to, I'm gonna
Yeah.
suffer.
But I mean, also, you know, obviously you have to match the lead group if you plan to be in contention, but you still have to ride your ride.
Well, that's the thing. The race has changed now. It's
Yeah.
not like it used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So the lead group's coming down to 8-man sprint at the end now, where
Yeah.
they're riding together and throwing blows all race. Where
Yeah.
before you're just riding by yourself those second 100 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely more of a team tactic situation.
It's getting that way. It
Yeah.
seems like it.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
But you can work with people.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of my secret sauce there. Nobody knows who I am at that level.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
just-
part of it, but also part of it is you can draft really well.
Oh,
off of
I'm really
people.
good at drafting. Yeah.
And then
I'm a
people
small
can't draft
behind
really
me.
well
Yeah,
behind you.
That's right.
You know, and you're very much adept at riding by yourself, just going off the front and leaving people. I think it would be a really good format for you to go at least see what you can do, you know. So,
And we kind of get a head start on the heat here. It gets
Yeah.
hotter here before it does up there. It's
Yeah.
going to be hot up there.
yeah, we'll be heat acclimated. Although the first year I did it, it was record heat, and there's no
And we-
reprieve.
And if you're talking about 11, and that's when we had a cool spring and summer, so we weren't getting our rate.
Acclimated,
That was your first hot ride of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it was
That's the
it was
worst.
terrible.
Well, and it was so humid because there was that storm coming
Because
in.
that big storm blew up on
I
the second.
literally saw a tornado hidden, like I say, hid in a ditch. There's no trees.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I saw like 2 trees the whole 200 miles, you know, but we hid in a ditch, just turned our back like a bunch of cows to the hail and just had to take hail on the back, you know, and then the sea roads became
Deep.
Mud
Yeah.
pit.
awful. So that was the year I bailed at 136, but I think that's a great format for someone like you. But I also just want to see you do longer stuff. So
Yeah.
selfishly.
Not only longer stuff, but I want to race against faster people too.
Yeah.
Just bigger.
Start
bigger
raising the
field.
bar. You know, instead of shooting all these fish in the barrel down here, you know.
Well, I like doing races I can win.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Everybody does. Yeah.
I don't like doing all this training and going out and getting 42nd.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard mentally. And
Might
that's
as well
kind of
change
why
your name to Dylan Johnson.
he's got excuses.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Baby.
Did you watch the Sea Otter coverage at all?
We did. We watched the race Friday afternoon whenever it was on live. We didn't watch the recaps, but we got a pretty good idea on how it
Yeah.
played out when it was on. Good racing. Braden Lang, he grew up racing against me. He's from Austin,
Oh, yeah.
or not racing against me. I raced
Yeah.
against him a few times in timber races and other marathon mountain bike races. I never beat him, but
I didn't know he was a local boy.
well, out of Austin, Texas guy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, he's at the top of lifetime now. Look at him.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that a fluke, or do you think he's dead?
No.
He
No.
won Schwalm again last year, or the year before. He's been
Okay.
stepping up.
I mean,
a
he was
little bit every
he was
year.
national champ last year.
Yeah.
USAC gravel.
Huh. I guess
And
I haven't been paying as much attention.
so he was picked to be towards the top.
Yeah.
So it was not unexpected by any stretch. So definitely a strong rider. I guess male and female national champs from last year did pretty well at Sea Otter. So
Lauren almost got her. She made a bad decision there.
yeah,
Caught a sand pit. She thought she was taking the faster line and caught a sand pit.
I think she was taking a chance.
Mhm.
I think she didn't think she could get her without taking a chance.
Yeah.
But obviously that was
From my racing, the fastest line to me is the one in the draft. No matter where you're going to be going faster
I think
in the
she was
draft.
just trying to catch her off guard.
Absolutely.
Was what she was
wanted to
shooting.
get to that corner first because that's
Yeah.
the only way to win that race with the hairpin right before the
That was a clutch
for the
move
finish line.
with
And that's what happened with Braden. He got to the hairpin first and got out of it
Yes.
first. So
and
Yeah.
forced
there's no
Keegan
going
wide,
around him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a brilliant tactic.
It was Brad's run him into the ditch tactic, basically. So.
Put him in the ditch.
You got to do what you got to do at that level.
Hope you brought your ditch pillow.
All right, guys. I need y'all's help.
Talk to us.
I need y'all's help. So we got stuff going on that we're not sure what we're doing, where we're going to be this weekend, but we've got our the distance Gravel Max group scheduled to go out. I don't know that I'm going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I am. It's a possibility. So I'm trying to come up with ideas on how to care for that crew so they can still go for their 300 miler or their 230 miler or their 135 miler.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not there in support as originally planned.
You're going to put out arrows?
No. I'm
We're already there from last year.
this is self-navigated. Kevin doesn't put out 300 miles of arrows.
I know.
That doesn't happen regardless.
I know.
But originally the plan was going to be that we're all camping together at 4R Friday night, leaving early Saturday morning, and then I was going to take the van and meet them out in the grasslands at mile 50-ish
Mm-hmm.
for a mandatory check-in for all distances, and the 300 milers would come by that same spot at mile 150.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not there, obviously I'm not able to do that. I mean, if people wanted at 150 to camp and make it a full 2-day deal or take a nap, I was going to have coolers and food and all that sort of thing, but it's still considered self-supported, generally speaking. But I was going to be there with resupply because there really isn't a convenient resupply between after 10 p.m. There won't be resupply for a very long gap, I guess.
Yeah.
I can look at the details of it. So the way I look at it, my options are, if I'm not going to be there, my options are to potentially try to just leave a cache there of water and stuff
Mm-hmm.
of some sort that hopefully doesn't get disturbed.
Can we not do it like they do in Colorado and just go out there and bury in an ice chest? After the lid?
I don't know. That's why I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to get some thoughts and processes. Or is it, do I tell, hey, if you're not comfortable that you can get to mile 160 roughly before 10 p.m.
Yeah.
You need to either plan on stopping in Jacksboro at mile 100 or doing the 200 something mile route instead of the 300.
Yeah.
Or potentially that store that closes at 10 p.m. set something up with them where maybe they leave a cache of stuff out back, that I prepay for. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to pull the plug on it because the reason we put this one together, it was a request by riders that said, hey, we want a club ride that's a 300-mile thing
Yeah.
to get ready for Unbound in our summer season and stuff like that. So most of these are going to be pretty hardy riders, but I know some of them were probably counting on, and it could still happen. I'm hoping we're still there. But from y'all's perspective, if you were a participant in something like that, and we thought we were going to have that resupply, let's call it at mile 150 at the midpoint, and it's not there anymore, what would you like to see that look like potentially?
As long as I know it's not going to be there, I would just make other preparations.
Okay.
The worst thing would be to think it's going to be there and it not be there.
No, I'm going to make it clear.
Yeah. I'm not
And that's
saying
that's
you're
the
not.
whole point, is to communicate this is what it looks like now.
Yeah, and I think as long as people are aware, they'll figure it out.
Let me see if I can. So let's see. Resupply is at mile 95.
That's the first place.
No,
It's a gas station.
the first place is mile 50. Or well, there's plenty. Decline, Texas. No, there's plenty of resupply before that.
Okay.
So there'll be resupply at Forestburg, which is like at mile 20, at Sunset at mile 46, and then in Jacksboro at mile 90 something.
Yeah,
But-
at a campsite at 150.
And then after Jacksboro, it's a long stretch. So that was going to be 60 miles. That was going to be the campsite at 148. So that, and which could still be, that's where I could potentially leave a cache there or have someone leave a cache or something like that. If they get back to Sunset.
It's an extra 6 miles if they needed to fill.
But it closes at 10.
Oh, yeah.
So 10 to 8 overnight, that doesn't work, sort of thing. So I could potentially arrange for a cache here at what was going to be the Grasslands campground, or possibly arrange for a cache at that store if it's after hours for the store.
So how many riders do you have?
I think we're at like 17 at the moment, but it's last week, so if the weather looks decent, more people will sign up.
I plan on arranging a cache cooler with some ice and cold drinks and maybe some peanut butter and jellies or some quick food.
Understood.
I could help facilitate that.
I appreciate that. I wasn't trying to twist your arm in anything like that.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah,
you want to do it
on air. No pressure, guys.
That's not.
Don't be a dick on camera.
No, that's not where I was going.
Can you drive too?
Fuck those guys. They're on their own.
That's not where I was going with this. If I'm still able,
it would be good without a cache there, right?
Yeah. And anything, I'll drink my own urine.
I'm thinking it may make most sense to try to arrange something with the store, potentially, but I don't know that for certain. But all right, lean towards a cache is what I'm hearing from both of y'all.
You don't need a ton of stuff. 17 people. That's not a little.
It's not a small amount either.
Little, especially 100.
I would say
miles in.
A box of chips, a couple of boxes of Uncrustable, like a bag or two of oranges, and some cold waters and Dr. Peppers, and some bananas, and maybe some Fig Newtons.
Understood.
Bring back the orange slices.
It's more the stuff that is the cache isn't as much of the issue as placing the cache or where to put it or where it doesn't get messed with or disturbed or that's
you're
really
talking about a 6-hour spread at the very least,
at the least.
Yeah.
And some people will overnight there. That would be my perfect situation, is somebody that's overnighting there, their partner or somebody like that is
already camping there.
Is going to be camping there too, sort of thing, and they could handle a cache, but I think that's too much to count on.
Go up there and camp and do a little base packing.
Well, that would be ideal for base packers.
Band-Aid off of that fitness.
Yeah.
Fitness Band-Aid.
No, I know that that's not going to be in your wheelhouse there. So
what are you trying to say?
Yeah, what are you trying to say? I don't know if I like where this is going. I was trying to help.
I appreciate that.
You can't do that.
Brad's not going to be happy just sitting by a lake camping all weekend, waiting on a bunch of bike riders coming by.
But that's what I said. I could go up there, provide the cache, and then go for a ride. And camp there, and be the.
But you don't camp. No, I'm playing with you. It'd be a great place for a hammock. But
there you go.
There you go.
It's good weather for a hammock too.
Well, that's the other thing. So weather is always a factor.
Have you seen what's happening Thursday?
No, I haven't yet.
We're supposed to get an inch and a quarter of rain on Thursday.
So that's the other rigmarole with this route. So this western end of it, I scouted all that Thursday.
Yeah.
It's past maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in there. Last week. So I scouted the western loop. And then yesterday we scouted the eastern and the northern. So the route's verified. Unfortunately, this whole corridor here
goes way out west. Never been that far.
Oh, that's fantastic stuff. But here's the deal: the Runaway Bay tornado, all that came through here as tornado stuff.
A few down trees.
So most of it is major. They're dirt roads, but they're major county roads. So I would expect them to be cleared. But we do have this probably the best road on the route, Bug Tussle. That might not get, if trees went down there, they might be down for years, potentially. So, and there's definitely no way for me to verify what that stuff's like before Saturday.
Oh, you're not gonna have a chance to go up. I was gonna say we could throw Paula's chainsaw in the van and go up there.
My guess is we're probably hitting the road tomorrow morning. Is my guess, but I don't know for certain. We had death in the family in Florida that unexpected, and we'll have to do stuff related to that. But I just have no idea what the timeline is for all of that at the moment. So trying to throw together pieces on the fly, because this is a complicated one. I'm going to have to do like a virtual writers meeting, because people are going to have to know how the camping situation at 4R works.
Yeah.
How to do all that, how resupply is going to work. As far as getting on their bikes and riding, all these folks are capable of that.
Yeah.
It's all the thinking.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell you care about it, and you're thinking hard on it. I think everyone will understand your situation and be sympathetic towards you.
And
I definitely think a cash would be appreciated. I don't think it's necessary though.
Okay. I think I'll try to figure out a cash setup. Probably highly recommend anyone that's not sure they're comfortable with that just to shorten up and do the 200 miler instead of the 300 miler, because that will have resupply all along it with no issues.
Let me know if I can help set out a cache or something.
All right, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I expect to have some idea what we're up against timing wise this afternoon, and when we're going where we're going.
Yeah.
That's
Let me know.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. It's kind of, I was really looking forward to being part of this, because Jan and the dogs, we loaded up and scouted the rest of the route yesterday. I did the other half on the motorcycle last week. It's like, man, it's a fantastic 300 miles. It's really cool stuff. And
How's the motorcycle breaking in?
it's doing well.
How many miles you got on it now?
I have like right at just over 500. First oil change is at 600 on it, kind of important. And then like the next one's not to like 50,000 miles.
Yeah.
The first one's super important.
Yeah, just to make sure you get any
So
shrapnel out of it.
yeah. No, it's working out well. Pretty happy with it. And
No regrets?
yeah.
Not like I wish I had different tires, or I wish I had more suspension, or wish I had more range, or
No, because I ride it like an old man.
yeah,
So-
comfort.
What did you get?
KLR 650 Kawasaki adventure bike, kind of
Awesome.
the Salsa Fargo of motorcycles,
Yeah.
generally speaking. So it's the new Scout mobile, because Brad and I learned we can't scout in this, can we?
It's a little difficult.
It's slow. Yeah. Are these those Falcon tires? I saw them when I was.
They're really good. Those are
Yeah.
really good tires.
I had those and realized that it made a difference, but not enough. So I just went back to van tires
No,
on my next set.
Yeah, well, these things the Pro Masters are notorious for getting stuck on wet grass. So,
Oh yeah, it will make a big difference on that.
so that's really what they're there for more than any. It's not meant for scouting that I have the all-terrain tires. It's meant for parking. Yeah.
Sexing.
The vans are rocking.
Yeah.
I'm knocking.
You can't have sex on bald tires.
You van sinks into the grass a little bit.
It'll work its way in.
But yeah, we tried to scout some of the California route with this on a very hot day. It's like, it's too hot to ride bikes today.
We could have almost walked faster.
Yeah, that's slow.
It doesn't like technical terrain.
Nope.
Part of it, I think, is because the wheelbase is so long.
Oh, it was all of
Yeah,
this.
so much undulating
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Also, there's just some of that stuff that wouldn't be off camber in a Jeep was off camber in the van, you know. So, like I was telling Kevin, the road we were on, specifically the one that ran next to the canal, I was like, dude, if you had a Ford Raptor, we could just rip.
Yeah, 30, 40 miles per hour, no problem.
But the van was like maybe happy at 5 to 6. 7
Yeah,
miles an hour.
6 miles an hour, it was unhappy. 5 miles an hour is like, we can
Not-
get by.
Not to mention all the things in the van that are
Yeah.
shaking.
Oh, yeah.
moving
Which
around.
wasn't really as big of a problem as I thought, but we did have a bunch of shit shoehorned in here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really
We
much
had it
risk.
wedged.
Yeah, it was all kind of
stuff.
We had tension.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all the noises just get worse as you build it out.
Yeah. But what I was thinking about, and we'll talk about our brouhaha this past weekend in a bit.
hmm
But sitting around the table, enjoying Bradford's food, discussing it with Sedge and Adam and somebody else.
Right.
We were talking about the Bradshaw Trail
hmm
segment, which that's really that.
Yeah.
So part of the USA Trail, the California route, it's actually the opening coming into California. We basically have 4 miles of what's called the Bradshaw Trail. It's basically a desert gravel road with some sandy sections in it, but it's 100 miles without resupply is what it boils down to.
Hot miles.
Timing is going to be critical. That's the main thing.
Seasonal timing is going to be critical, but time of day that you're actually doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And, Sedge was, he was enjoying the mental calisthenics of figuring out, how would I approach that
strategy?
Yeah.
Adam was panicking. He's like, 100 miles, no resupply, not a chance.
Yeah.
So there was kind of what I kind of want to do now is do one of our meetup rides built around, hey, let's get a group of people out there. What approach would you take to do this stretch without resupply?
Yeah.
Where I am at the halfway point in the Jeep or on the motorcycle or whatever else.
Or just a cache.
Or put a cache out, potentially. Also look at potentially alternate routes that maybe do it a slightly different way.
Is there no potential for filtering water? Is there no cistern or
not that I'm aware of, and I'm still, I'll be honest with you, I'm not confident that even the water out there, even if it's filtered, if it is drinkable, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
water would be my biggest scare on a run like that. Because food, you can carry food for 100 miles. That's not a problem, but it's running out of water at mile 60 or something.
Understood. And that's why I like the idea.
Safety blanket for me.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I like the idea of getting a group of people with different approaches out there.
Yeah.
And say we get a dozen people that try different things, and I'm always there in some capacity as a safety net. Yeah. Then we'll say, oh, here's exactly what does work. We have an example. It may not be what you want to do yourself, but here's something that does work, sort of thing. I think
much along the lines of what we discussed, I think on that trip is your ability to carry water. Whether you start out carrying 4 liters of water, but when you get to that stretch, maybe you have an extra bladder in your frame bag or something, you just had that, or extra Nalgene on your down tube that you carried empty, or maybe you just pick up a 2-liter smart water and strap it into a cage,
my logic is you just plan the ride around. If you get to that point that you're going to carry 5 gallons of water for 100 miles, well, it's going to be reducing, but you start out on a 100-mile journey with 5 gallons of water somehow or another.
Yeah. I think that's the thought process that has to be embraced. Like, you're going to start out heavy, you're going to continue to get lighter, but you're going to make it 100 miles. And at that point, if you've ridden all the way from Jacksonville, you're going to be pretty seasoned.
That's, again, then that's part of the east to west logic. Yeah. It definitely gets harder the further you go into the trail.
Elevation and climate.
Everything, all aspects of it. Distance between resupply and everything else.
Because I looked at
navigation
the elevation chart of the whole route, and it was just like, I was like, okay, it's backloaded. So, but I think, realistically, once you get to that point, you will have done an 80-mile stretch with no resupply.
Right.
Maybe in different conditions.
Right.
But I think at that point, you'll be seasoned enough to go, okay, I got this. You'll already have a plan, something that's been formulating over the course of the last 3,600 miles.
It won't be culture shock at that point.
Right,
you'll know if it's within your capability or not.
So is it a slow road, slow 100 miles, or
it's going to be it's going to be
hilly,
so probably 80 miles of it is actually pretty decent but chunky gravel, flat, not much up and down to it, but 10 miles of it is deep sugar sand, but not one 10-mile stretch, probably broken up into quarter to half-mile segments. And then another 5 to 10 miles is longer stretches. I think there was like a 2 or 3 miles, not a little over 2-mile segment of sand. That said, that's the road itself is that sandy. I was doing that in the Jeep, but it looked like once you got off-road into the desert, just off the side of the road, it was probably firm enough to support a bicycle at that point. It's the sandy sections get chewed up by the vehicles that go through it and keep it sandy, sort of thing.
So that's probably a 15 to 20 hour section.
That's yes. Yeah.
a long time without a resupply.
Yeah, it's not the distance, it's the time.
It's the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what we said. It's like teach everybody Austin's zone one revolution. You just zone one that, whether you're pedaling, walking, pushing, or whatever else. And so you're not taking in water based on exertion. You're taking in water based on getting through 20 hours.
If you could slow down a bit and not sweat as much, that would be huge. Just
I'm in zone 2 just thinking about it.
You're in zone 2 taking a shit right now.
Yeah.
No,
100 miles. I mean, I keep thinking that you'd be more than prepared once you got there, if you're doing the full thing.
I think you're mentally prepared at that point, but it's still, what are the logistics to actually, you still have to figure out how to carry 100 miles worth of water.
Yeah. But, I mean, the weather's going to be a huge factor, too. If you hit it on a stretch where it's 60 degrees that day, and
Right.
you potentially have a tailwind,
Right.
and it's overcast and there's low humidity, could be a
And just
breeze
rain the day
considerable.
before, and
Yeah.
all that sand's packed out.
Yeah.
No problem.
That's not going to happen.
Desert rain, a rare desert rain doesn't happen.
But it's considerably easier versus
No, I
if
understand.
it's 95 degrees and 90% humidity and you've got a headwind and it's dusty dry.
It could be the opposite. It could be 110 and headwind the whole
Well,
way.
that's and it can be the same. It can be both of them in the same day, quite
Yeah.
frankly. And that's the deal with the desert stuff out
or
there.
2 days.
Yeah,
Takes that long.
exactly. And that's I think you have to be prepared to. I'm just gonna I'm gonna sit out the heat of the day,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do it at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a ticket. Getting in at
Um,
night, getting there at sunset, and trying to make it before sunrise.
So something like that, or
Because at the end of that stretch is where you get to
Fountain of Youth.
And you could easily get there early morning and, resupply. They'll have a cafe. They have a cafe there that's open during regular business hours. I think it opens at 9. The store opens at 9.
right.
And then you could resupply and pitch a tent somewhere between there and Slab City,
Or just right in the heart of Slab City.
Yeah. Dude, they would never even know. Man, what a mystical place.
You'd build it right in.
It's about to get loud. Trash truck's coming.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, the AI will fix that in post.
perfect. It's going to be super interesting to see people's approach to USA Trail, and to see the bikes too, what people are going to pick, because the weapon of choice is going to be good 30% of the time, but for that 30% of the time, it's going to be perfect,
Yeah.
But there's gonna be-
Nothing's ever going to be the right bike.
No, nothing.
Nothing's going to be the right tire.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be the right handlebar setup.
Yeah. Unless it's a 32-inch Fargo, I think,
Well,
I think
Size small.
It's extra small for me.
Did you see any of the sea otter coverage from
I saw Ben Delaney's video.
on the 32-inch extra small that they made for their engineer for Salsa?
Yeah, I saw that one too.
She's 5'2", and said it rode fine. So
Yeah, she's tiny.
I think what they're going to end up, I think the biggest problem with the fit and the geometry is toe overlap.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of geometry shakeups. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that people are going to extend the top tube like an extra inch or two versus that size in like a 29, and then make it more steep and actually drop the stem behind the steer tube to get into that position. Because if you pull the stem behind, like even if it's a 40 millimeter stem facing backwards and even down, you could be in that same position. You could have a steeper front end and it would still feel slacker because you're behind it,
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine how that would handle. I've got no idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's the standard stem is kind of 100 mil now for a small bike.
It depends on the discipline. I mean, most bikes are coming with 80s, 70s, and 80s on it.
Oh yeah,
You're more aero.
I'm talking gravel bikes.
Yeah, gravel bikes are, I want to say,
Mountain bikes, I think 75
Yeah.
to 85
yeah,
is kind of standard between small and medium. But gravel bikes, I'd say 100 is still standard.
yeah,
So that may come down to 60 or 70.
Yeah.
Just go out 30 mil.
yeah,
And that's exactly what I did on my custom bike. I just went out 30 mil so I don't have toe overlap with 2.0s on, or 2.1s.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
works great. I
Yeah.
just had to rake out the steer a little bit to
Yeah.
accommodate. a little twitchier handling.
And
with a
so
shorter
did you
stem.
do the offset headset, like the angled headset to do that, to accomplish that? How did you?
No, it's a custom geo.
Oh, you're talking about from the design standpoint. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I just made it a bit longer. I can't recall exactly how long, but I did all the math to make
Yeah.
fit match up.
Yeah.
And then I just adjusted the head to angle to get the bike's trail to match,
Yeah.
and it handles just like I wanted it to with the trail matching up.
Isn't that gratifying to design it on paper, see it in person, and then ride it and realize that all your planning made sense? Yeah. That's got to be gratifying.
But yeah, that's the same thing that's got to happen with 32 it's got to go out even further though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, 0 offset stem, 0.
Yeah.
0 link stem, which is coming back in mountain bike, it seems like.
Yeah.
It kind of had a little stint in road stuff for a bit, and then it went away because it just didn't work very well for road. But mountain bike, it makes perfect sense. You get your center of gravity where it's supposed to be, rather
Yeah.
over front of the fork. It gets you right over the
Squirrely. Yeah.
over the frame.
It's definitely going to take a lot of figuring when it comes to geometry and fit, and that's one of the things, Kevin and I have talked about multiple times is when we were transitioning from 26 to 29, CAD wasn't really as big of a utilization as it is now.
Yeah, it's all trial and error out of the workshop, not on the computer. It's a little easier now with computer, but you still have to have somebody that knows what they're doing when they're writing.
Absolutely.
If you got a 32 inch
That's
bike,
good
send it to
feedback.
me. I'll give you feedback on it. I know how it's supposed to ride.
Yeah.
Or I can tell you how I like it.
Yeah, but I think that the correction period is going to be a lot quicker. Like people are going to try stuff and immediately go, scratch that off, scratch this off. And then I think you're going to see a lot of people trying different stuff. I mean, Race Face was even there with some prototype stems that were negative
25 or 35 or something.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
But the stem literally looked like an L bracket, and it was almost touching the head tube.
Upper.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So if they're trying to get that position,
get your fit to match up between bikes. So maybe that's not the best thing. Maybe you just need a different fit on the bike. Now it's going to handle different. So why does the fit have to be the same?
It's true. That's
just trial and error.
Yeah.
Like you need a good person to prototype these bikes for you, and it's not cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, building 12 bikes or 15 bikes, or how many iterations it takes to get it that, it's going to take miles on each frame before you realize it's not.
I mean, it's at the very least, it's going to be interesting. So, and maybe it's just all a smoke and mirror show, like I said. Maybe 3 years from now we'll be like, that was stupid. Yeah.
I doubt it. I bet it'll be relevant somewhere.
I don't think it'll ever be as popular as 29 is currently.
What you outlined there is what I think basically happened. I think a couple years ago, somebody decided we're going 32.
Yeah.
And they had to get the tires.
Maxxis was the catalyst for the whole thing.
No.
Maybe
Maxxis having a tire kickstarted it, but a big manufacturer said we're going this direction. That's what I was talking about 2 years ago when I said XC is back. The buzz is there. Something's going on in the industry.
Yeah.
They're focusing on cross-country mountain biking again. And I think it was 32 that fed that. They thought that was going to be the thing. And I think all the iterations of testing that you're talking about is, we're not quite there.
Yeah.
And now it kind of shifted. Gonna work for gravel though.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, it's expensive. These small brands that are coming out with boutique bikes, they're not doing the iterations. They're not making 10 iterations because they can't afford it.
They can't. And that's
They're
what I'm
just
saying.
Look what we made.
If it was
Try
Trek, if it was Specialized, if it was Giant, one of those did all those iterations.
And they're still working on it.
And they're like, it didn't work the way we thought.
Or that was the Skunk Labs thing where they just tested it and it didn't work. And they just scratched it.
But I think it's very interesting to your point, because what I've kind of gathered from people that are already making 29-inch frames and they're trying to just take those points in space and transfer them to a 32, going, okay, we know this platform works, and they're trying to duplicate that in a 32-inch. I don't think anybody's really addressing the fact that it's a different bike. It's going to ride different. We need to make different changes that wouldn't necessarily work on a 29, So, and maybe that's what they're doing with the drop stem and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I think there is going to need to be kind of a reassessment of what works specifically for the 32 instead of just trying to transfer everything over.
Yeah.
I mean, the axle to crown height is, I think they're running like a 507 or something. So automatically your
50 no higher.
yeah, your head tube is higher. So you've got to be, if you just associate that with, well, maybe we're going to have more upright position. Maybe drop bars get,
That's a disadvantage of the bigger tires. Like, there's no getting around it. And they're
maybe
super
drop bars
slamming
get
the stem.
deeper. Maybe you have a drop bar. I mean, I don't know, you know,
Yeah.
but I definitely think gravel is going to be the main application when all this stuff kind of
Bike
settles
packing.
out.
Bike
packing.
packing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've said this. This will be the multi-day bike packing
Yeah.
setup of choice.
The only disappointing thing is they're building these bigger frames, but we're not seeing bigger front triangles.
Well, remember
Well,
there
there
was
will be. There will be once they stretch out that top tube.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's got to be.
And I think if you're going to build a bigger bike, show me a bigger freaking front triangle so I can bike pack it, you know?
They got to figure out the geometry first.
Yeah.
So you said Cannondale's got a 32. They're prototyping.
So somebody on Facebook the other day posted an article, I believe was from Radivist.
Was it right? Something? It was one of the legit public.
It wasn't Pink Bike.
No, it wasn't pink.
I think it was Radivist.
might have been.
But they were out at North Shore testing 2 new 32-inch
Mountain bike.
Cannondales.
Cannondale.
mountain bikes.
Ian was the one that took
Ian
him out
was
there.
the one being the tour guide.
It's like, damn it.
So the
Come on,
lefties-
Ian.
Like a lefty's a solid fork for that.
Well, that's
It's
what
a very little modification.
that's
they
what
make.
I said from the beginning.
Yeah.
A lefty 32 has my interest.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. But
I just hate all the proprietary hub and all that.
man,
Yeah.
everything's proprietary everywhere
That's-
anymore.
Well, that's true.
There's nothing that isn't proprietary
It's
anymore.
one way or the other.
That's true.
So
Yeah, it's just the proprietary and hard to
But-
find parts.
they didn't say it was a lefty though, did they? I didn't
those
see-
pictures of it. Let me see.
Maybe
if
I
can-
didn't see the pictures
Let me
then.
see if I can find that.
It was one of those articles that was there needed to be more detail in it, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But yeah,
Was it?
it probably
was on
caught the
Dorma,
attention
right?
span of. It was either Dorba or that North Texas or DFW mountain bike group, one or the other.
That may be where it was. My internet's
But-
creeping.
I mean, Ian, you know us, man. We got bikes we can try out.
And I would love that.
So
I would also love to know what
I
Ian's standpoint is from an industry perspective.
well, everybody in the industry's whole hog in. Oh, this is the greatest thing since
they
like.
is it a
They get
facade?
paid if they sell bikes.
Well,
He's not gonna tell you.
they all need it to be.
Yeah.
They need it. So
Job stability.
the number was, I mean, the numbers came out. The first quarter numbers are out for Shimano and Giant and everybody's. It's still tanking. It's still tank. There's no dead cat bounce in this yet. The industry is still falling apart. I think gross numbers stabilized a little bit going into the first quarter, but profit margins are at their worst levels ever for all the major stuff that came out. And there were some step back and punt statements made of maybe we're thinning SKUs and even more sort of thing. And there seems to be maybe a give up on the U.S. market at the moment. The U.S. market is really struggling for these guys. And evidently, for whatever reasons, the U.S. market's markedly different from the rest of the world. And they're all kind of like, well, we're going to focus on Europe and Asia right now, where the way we do things just worked with everybody. USA is kind of a wild card. Everything works a little bit differently there, and they haven't figured out how to put all those pieces together yet, evidently. So,
I was trying to see.
but yeah, everybody in the industry is leaning very heavily into 32-inch, and I'm not saying that it doesn't deserve it. It's I hope it is the next big thing that saves everybody. That would be a good thing.
But it may all just be propaganda.
It could be.
Time will tell.
I mean, it's
We need to get that large salsa in.
Yeah.
Did they announce that at Sea Otter? Did they announce a actual ship date on those, or
I think
third summer?
Second.
Oh, not till fall.
So I think the official word was late summer, early fall, but the expectation is it may be even earlier than that for the steel, but the tie will be pushed back a little bit potentially. Who knows? I mean, I remember when Salsa announced Cutthroat. That was one that was, oh, they'll be out in June, and they didn't hit until like November or something like that. So
yeah, Salsa keeps their ordering super low. Their inventory.
Yeah.
They do small batch.
They do very small.
production.
They do very small batch first run, and test the market with that. And their second run is way behind that. They don't. My guess is first run is already sold out on pre-orders, but they're not gonna order second batch
You start kicking out.
until they start getting feedback on it. At least that's the way they've done it in the past.
This is not a lefty fork, by the way.
I didn't hear mention of a lefty, so I didn't think it was.
It was bicycling.com. I'll send this article to you guys, but it's paywalled beyond a certain point.
Oh, was it? Maybe that's where where it seemed short.
Yeah.
I didn't remember getting to a point where it said I was paywalled. It just seemed like, oh,
The article fizzled, and it's behind like
okay,
grayed out or whatever.
gotcha.
But either way, I'm excited, and maybe for no reason, but I just think it's, at the very least, it's nice to see a shakeup and a different thought process in the cycling industry. Whether it's off or
Sure.
not, remains to be seen.
Well, I mean, and if Ian has it, those are production bikes, right? That's not prototypes.
I don't know.
That would be my guess. Is those are actual production bikes there. So that'll be the outside of BMC. Well, actually, BMC's for prototypes. Supposedly production XC bikes were supposed to be out last year, and it never happened.
Yeah, but even this one, like the triangle looks so.
Well, they gotta make room for the wheels.
I think I've seen SR Suntour use those graphics on the prototype forks before. It could be a Suntour fork.
It looked like a Marzocchi, but they don't even exist anymore, do they?
Foxon's Marzocchi.
Yeah.
So I think they do exist.
I mean, it's obviously intentionally blared, but
Well, the Suntour, the new Suntour Air stuff.
Oh no, it says
it says
Manitou.
Manitou. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I zoomed in after you said that. So,
Manitou's got a 32-inch fork coming.
well, and not Rock Shocks, but Fox had a
There's a
32
good
inch.
picture here. They just don't show us. There's a good profile picture there. We just can't see it. You gotta pay for that one.
Paywall.
You gotta pay for that one.
Yeah, that's chicken shit. But
They gotta pay the bills, man.
Yeah, I mean they gotta make money, obviously.
yeah, and it's full suspension. One of them is
They both are.
I think they
So
both
They both
are.
have different shock orientations too. This one's vertical, and
vertical
this
and
one's
horizontal. Yeah.
So they're, I don't know, they're testing, either testing or two different SKUs.
One's an XC, one's a trail bike. Maybe.
Usually they'll do the same kinematics between the two bikes, but they'll adjust the travel.
One's a scalpel, they're bringing back the Jekyll. That's what they're doing.
That Jekyll has some Grady linkage on it.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know when he was out there riding too, because he was wearing long pants and long sleeves.
So I mean, sometimes it takes a couple months for the articles to come out.
And he's got a road helmet on. That's weird. He's got that oxidal on.
Yeah, it looks like a titanium frame. Hard to tell.
Brushed
Maybe
aluminum.
Yeah, it's
Brushed
probably
aluminum,
aluminum prototype, just quick and easy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know.
Cannondale leans into their aluminum.
Yeah,
Aluminum.
That CAD, what is it, 13 or 14? It's like a modern day aluminum road race bike. It's pretty sweet looking.
yeah. And then their Super 6 is aluminum, isn't it? Or is it carbon?
Super 6 carbon. I think they do have an aluminum one though, like a lower
Yeah.
tier one.
Well,
Is there anywhere to buy Cannondales around here anymore?
I don't know who the
I know
Cannondale
Bello
shop is.
Cafe dropped them, and I think Mad Duck has dropped them as well.
yeah, that I don't know.
That's right. Clarence went back to him for a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But I just don't think anybody bought them, so he stopped selling them. Is what I heard. I didn't hear that from him though, so it could be.
Well, I know Velo Republic carries Cannondale, or did. I don't know if they still do. And I don't know about Nico, if Nico's going to have Cannondale.
No,
He hasn't mentioned
He
it.
hadn't mentioned
He's
Cannondale.
heavy into Specialized, and he's got all the S brands: Surly, Specialized, and Salsa.
And Yeti.
And Yeti, yeah. He is a big Yeti guy, too. I don't know.
Oh, Orbea. He's got Orbeas.
Oh,
Does she have Orbea?
he was working on that.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to talk about that yet? I guess if you know, I guess we can.
I didn't know
Orbea's
that.
potentially in the mix. Yes.
Yeah. I think he's going to end up having as many brands as he can.
Yeah.
Well,
A lot of the brands don't let they make you have a minimum purchase order,
Yeah.
you know, for the first order 10 or 12 bikes or whatever.
Yeah.
So whatever brands don't make him do that, I'm sure he'll grab them up.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah.
I mean, then ultimately, we're still up against the question, you know, how many people are looking to buy new bikes right now? So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure, yes, he wants to sell all the bikes he possibly can, but I don't think they're building their business around the expectation of we're selling 3 high-end bikes a day sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, if profits are stabilizing, or profits are down, but gross sales are stabilizing, that means people are buying, but they're buying at a discount. That's the only way. So nobody's buying full price bikes right now.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly
Retailers are suckers anyways.
several of the big name brands are just still sitting on gobs of 2023 inventory.
I can't imagine anybody's fully recovered from the inventory backlash of COVID.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ordering.
Yeah.
2021.
Because everybody got sucked into way over ordering, and then
Well, I mean, I'm talking the manufacturers are just sitting on the inventory right now.
because they ramped up production to keep up with basically panic buying,
Right.
and then they didn't halt it quick enough. Shimano did a really good job.
It was,
I understand.
yeah, it wasn't. It was kind of the inverse. It wasn't panic buying. It was. Oh, you want bikes?
Yeah, they had real orders.
You have to order 200 units minimum.
Yeah.
When before they used to order 20.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm guessing a lot of the shops that went out of business is like, well, I can't do that 200 order. So
Yeah.
so whatever manufacturer is still sitting on those 200 bikes that were sold but never delivered.
Well, I've heard rumors that a lot of the major players, Shimano and SRAM and you know, all the major appointment industries have just warehouses of backlogged product, you know.
But that's what confuses me about all the new stuff that's coming out. You know, so now there's a 12-speed Qs now. It's like what?
But that's aimed at OEM market, you know, that's.
But if you're sitting on all this inventory, why isn't that going on? I
discount the 12-speed Dior first.
Yeah, you've got to create hype. You've got to bring attention to your brand.
Okay, so what's going to happen to all this inventory that's just sitting there collecting dust? Are they going to do the ET video game thing of it and dump it all in a landfill?
So, yeah, be like Louis Vuitton and burn it, just so it doesn't get on the gray market.
I have no clue. I don't know what they're. You know, at some point it's got to be cheaper to get rid of it than house it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you're paying rent.
Oh yeah,
to store stuff.
Yeah,
and insurance.
Yeah. So at some point you think, well, they're just going to sell it for pennies on the dollar just to get it out of their inventory and to get it out in the public. So they could be just speccing Chinese, you know, fleet brand bikes with 3-year-old equipment, you know, for pennies on the dollar. But I don't know what
a lot of aluminum bikes with Durace on it coming soon.
Yeah. But that's the other thing is you've got a lot of new players in the market for drivetrain. L2, and then there's another one that just debuted at the Taipei Cycling Show. I can't remember the name of it, but they have an entire ecosystem just like L2 where everything crosses over. Every blip works with every derailleur, works with everything. It all integrates, goes right into your computer, everything. And it's a quarter of the price of SRAM or Shimano's electronic stuff. And then there's, like I said, there's another brand. I can't even remember the name of it. And then you have multiple boutique derailleurs that are coming out. Like the one I keep showing you that they actually have the Rasta color profile. That they're out of Germany. Ingrid. Yeah. And then there's Madrone derailleurs. So it's like, if there's really that huge backlog of components, you know, drivetrain components, then how is it viable for somebody fresh and new to enter into the market and make a $500 rear derailleur? You know, I guess it's a different market, obviously, than 12-speed Qs, but it seems like a bold move, Cotton, to bring in a new GT derailleur.
I mean, but if you're the Ingrid or if you're the, or I mean, well, you know, nobody's telling me as a derailleur manufacturer, component manufacturer, boutique one, that, oh, by the way, I'm with Shimano and we've got, you know, 2 million Qs 12-speed units just sitting there doing. Nobody's telling them that specifically. It's all just, you know, hearsay, words in the wind sort of thing. I still got to do what I got to do for my own business just like the Spinistry stuff, we got to come up with stuff to keep things going, even though it doesn't all work the way it did 5 years ago.
Right.
The market has changed.
Yeah.
But we're not driving the market, but in turn, the market drivers aren't coming to us and going, "Oh, by the way, this is what to look out for 6 months from now."
Yeah.
And we got to do our thing, and hopefully what we do aligns with what people are wanting to do. So speaking of that, so we tried a new thing this past weekend. We really haven't had a chance to debrief it at all. Do you want to talk about that or save that for?
Oh, I'm good with it. I have no negative takeaways. Other than we only had 12 people to feed. I would have. On one hand, I thought it was great that it was nice and small and intimate. It helped us kind of work out any bugs that may have reared their head, but I was fully prepared for 25. We could have easily done 25.
Sure.
I think my only main takeaway, and you weren't there for the pie, is I even told Betty Jo this immediately following. Everybody had left, and we went back and we were visiting with her. And I said, I have to admit that 3 pieces of pie was too much.
Okay.
Because it wasn't too much as far as too much food. It was just no pie really got its shine. It was the coconut pie stole the show because it was so sweet and rich that the apple pie didn't even have a chance to shine like the way it should have. And then the white chocolate walnut pie was just kind of in the mix too.
Understood.
In the future, I would have gone with just serving 1 piece of pie to showcase whatever her favorite pie is at the time, or whatever one she felt like she wanted.
Which she kind of told us to do the whole time.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, I'm willing to admit it was my idea. I was the one that kind of pushed for it and turned it into a big deal. And I said, but I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. And I only say that because I ate the pie just like everybody else. I still ate all 3 pieces of pie and all the ice cream, but I just was like, it was too much.
Right.
No,
I get it.
So,
I get it.
but
So let's take a step back. I'm not familiar with what you guys did.
so we did a fam style Spinistry cross up, if you will, collab,
A mashup.
where
Two worlds collide.
I did so Kevin structured the ride to where the different distances took off at different times. So theoretically they all finish in the same window. And I served charcuterie board to start, just for people showing up and mingling and stuff. And then we did 3 courses. So I did a salad, and then I did kind of a light app, and then we did a main course, and also homemade bread and homemade butter. And then for dessert, we showcased Betty Jo's pies, and then I made a homemade ice cream.
So we staged the event from the Pie House, Sweet Mother of Pies, outside of Gainesville and Era.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been there for our holiday rambles that we did?
No.
Okay,
I know the area though.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a little community called Hood in the middle of nowhere. It's literally a crossroads, and she's got she bakes pies out of her house there and has a quirky little property, and there's a community center right across the road.
I saw some of Adam's pictures on Strava of the trailer, Airbnb or whatever.
Yeah, it's cool little cute spot, and she's just as sweet as she can be, and her pies are even sweeter. I mean, it was fun, a lot of fun. It was a great setting. Now, that being said, if we would have had 50 people, it would have been a little different.
Yes, agree.
Just from a seating standpoint.
No, we didn't want any more people than that for the seating.
Yeah.
And weather is always a factor. And I tell you what.
And it was German Fest week.
And it was well, that was where I really dropped the ball. That was my big fumble.
Yeah.
But it was a good thing we didn't camp that night like we originally planned.
Yeah. But what's crazy? We got home, unloaded everything, got everything cleaned up and put away, and then came out to watch that storm roll in. And we sat out in the driveway for almost 3 hours.
Right.
And it was just constantly lightning, thunder. And I kept looking at the radar, and it basically just stalled out in Decatur. And we didn't get hardly any rain.
No, not up here,
Yeah.
but out west and down, because it ended up going
South of
basically
us.
due south.
Yeah.
It started tracking
Yeah.
south, and
Did you guys get covered up with that?
we
y'all too.
we got we got rain from it later in the night. Our tornado sirens went off at like midnight.
Oh shit.
For what reason I don't know. It
Yeah.
really shouldn't have. It was one of the where I say so it's not even tornado sirens anymore. The sirens go off for hail, wind, and tornadoes now. It's like,
well, we basically got bored and
I understand.
because I was like, this storm's never coming.
And it didn't.
Yeah.
Not here anyway.
Yeah. We did end up getting some rain. I think we got like.
Well, obviously you got
$1/3
some rain because
Yeah.
the cushions are wet.
Yeah. I think we got like 1/3 of an inch or something, but I was asleep by that time. So
Yeah, so we basically did a club Spinistry ride in the morning. No timing or anything. Everybody ride casual. We had a 100K distance and a 40-mile distance. Also had a gravel 101 clinic and ride along thing. I had a couple that showed up for that. That was a big. I think I have found my formula for beginner gravel riders.
well, that's good.
You know how much I've always bitched about it. It's so tough to put that class together
Yeah.
because everybody's a different level of beginner. Beginner,
Right.
this is where everybody
Yeah.
is at, where they're,
Yeah.
Between fitness and skill.
yes.
Yeah.
And so this was a couple, the husband, Jace, he's a mountain bike. He's that sophomore mountain biker guy he's got the bug.
Yeah.
And he's really deep into it, and he's starting to build up his bikes and stuff like that. And he joined Club Spinistry. He's done a couple of Spinistry rides. He's starting to get very confident in his head, and just to the point where you're about to learn what you really don't know yet, sort of thing. Not in a bad way, but
A little too confident.
I don't know if too confident's the right word, but he thinks he's got a good sense of what it's all about, and he's about to learn. He's got a lot to learn in a good way. We all went through that, and we all go through that constantly.
Still do.
Exactly. And his wife came along, and she's done some rides with him, a little bit of mountain biking. He built her up a drop bar mountain bike from an old Trek 830. 1995 bike that he set up as a drop bar mountain bike. Really cool.
Yeah.
2.1, 26-inch Gravel Kings on it. It was actually she's a smaller rider. It's like almost a perfect setup for her. But this was her first real gravel ride. So we sat around,
Rim brakes?
yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Full circle.
And
Shooter bike.
and it was purple too. So I like that. Actually, it was the whole Midnight Massacre colorway. She had teal tape, teal pedals.
Damn, I didn't get to see this bike.
Yeah, so it was pretty nice. So we sent out the long route riders. I had them arrive at the same time. We did kind of a clinic, talk about things. And that's where I got a sense of what they knew, what they didn't know, what they needed to know more about. Let them ask the questions. So that whole one-on-one environment worked really well. And then the shorter route riders came out, and when they went out, we went out on a shorter distance ride with them just to do the tell show. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you how to do some of this stuff, then let you do some of it. And as things pop up, ask me a question. Or if you're not comfortable with something, you see something coming, let's stop and talk about it, and the whys and the wherefores. Not that I know everything, but I've been around the block on some things a few times.
Yeah.
If I haven't done it myself, I've seen and talked to plenty of people that have. And
You have the experience of all of us just because you've had those conversations.
yes, very much so. And I think it worked really well. She killed it out there, and she did a lot of stuff that she was not excited about when we were sitting around talking, but once we got out in the wild and she was doing it, and we'd get the famous, we went down that famous Chainring Massacre,
CX Hill.
the mud road that you bitched about last time.
Oh, You took that as a bitch.
It was.
Well, it was a critique. You had we don't need to talk about that again.
No.
But yes, I understand. I understand where you're at.
Lots of people bitched about that road, and we had rain just before that, but it was definitely much drier than.
You know who bitched about that was Sean McAfee. He was the number one bitcher. He posted the video and everything.
No, he was the one that bragged about it. He was the one everyone else is
He was
bitching about.
bitching.
This is awesome.
I remember when I commented on his post, I said, when I wrote it, it was fine, just to kind of troll him a bit. It was perfectly dry when I wrote it.
Nobody deserves it more.
But I took them down that road, and that as a first-time gravel rider, when
It's dry as a blast.
it was dry, but it was still the rutted dry where
Someone wrote it in the drove it in the mud.
somebody drove it in the mud, so you had the narrow single track with each wheel rut that was okay, but the rest of it was the chunky rutted up stuff.
Yeah.
And she was not super confident in that, and it's like, just approach it this way. Don't, I talked about target fixation. Talk about where you want, look where you want to go, not where you don't want to go.
Right.
And she ran with it, and she just killed it.
Huh.
We had a super long finish into a pretty stout head, and we knew we were going to do that because we took off to the north and coming back, and the husband Jace had a heart rate monitor, but it was his first time with the heart rate monitor. She didn't have anything, and it was just a nice steady false flat climb into a 15-20 mile an hour headwind. And it's like, you ride at perceived effort, and when you get to the point where you can't talk with him riding side by side without taking a breath, Jace, you look at your heart rate at that point and said, that's your max heart rate, and you guys just ride together. You just plow through the headwind until you're done. And they just got a nice little high zone 1, low zone 2 rate, and just pushed on through and cut through about 12 miles of headwind and finished up strong.
Yeah, the learning drafting is going to be real beneficial for her as well, for both of them, for both of their happinesses. Just because he's got higher fitness than her right now, having a little bit more experience mountain biking.
When they get to that point, drafting, that's not 101.
Yeah, it's like 103.
Sure. Okay. How much time did you spend in college?
Not enough.
301.
301. Whatever.
1 is freshman, 201 is
okay.
sophomore, and 301.
I was there for my freshman year.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
You got through the 101.
It's all ball bearings these days.
But that's
099 on a lot of
that
stuff.
same one-on-one approach. I think that can work definitely for the gravel 101, the bike packing 101, and stuff like that. People finding their own routes, and I think I want to figure out how to do that, not try to cater to 20 people at a time.
Yeah.
Where it makes sense to 2 or 3 people, 4 people at a time, particularly if they know each other. Stage out of 4R, Betty Joe's place, or back and forth between the two. I don't know.
We're getting a couple people to coach, so it's not just you, and you can run a few more people.
Well, I would like that to be the 201s and the 301s.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if you did like a group of 8 or something. You had 2 different people helping, aligned, but that way you could have one person kind of at the front, one kind of person sweeping,
with our Cena headsets.
Yeah.
There you go. It's communication.
What's your thought on the race radio controversy?
Well, like we talked about earlier with Unbound, it's becoming team tactics, and it's inevitable that headsets are going to be more popular.
Yeah.
Until they get banned.
And Unbound has notoriously way less regulations than anybody.
And the one thing they don't talk about is the range of those headsets. I can't imagine it being that high if it's Bluetooth technology.
Yeah, it's a mesh network.
It's actually mesh network,
and
so
it's line of sight.
Yeah, so it's
2 kilometers with the Cena stuff.
Yeah, but that's in a straight line. If you're putting in hills and going through cities and stuff like that, it's not gonna be that.
But it also relays.
Okay.
So that's the mesh aspect. So if you have line of sight with somebody that's a half mile away, and they have line of sight with somebody that's a half mile behind them,
half mile is nothing in a 200-mile race.
I understand, but if you've got so I'm starting to look more into the Cena stuff because that's the motorcycle communication setup right now, and those guys, they do it in basically unlimited groups now, where you can all dial into the same mesh frequency, and they're spread out all over the Metroplex at the same time because they are
so
able to
big
relay.
network.
It's a bigger network. But if you have a field of 200 riders,
20 of them have a radio.
yeah,
Yeah.
the spacing could be there.
Or if there's the amateur group that's with guys wearing radios as well, does it work? Does it have to be on a set channel, or
That's what I was
can
just
it work
about to ask.
work with other?
You can do
other
it. You can do it both
devices.
ways. You can do it as an open network, so anyone's on it, or you can have a private network that's unlimited.
But I think what he's asking and what I want to know is, like, say there's 20 riders in
Does the relay
does the
work?
mesh work? Mesh
That's a darn
technology
good
work
question.
with people not on your channel. So
That's a darn good question.
Could you tap into somebody else's?
I don't know
network
yet.
and-
I like that idea. That would be cool if it did work that
make
way.
the most sense, I think. But if it could mesh but not be on the same
But not be in the
channel or whatever you
Right.
call it.
right where it
frequency.
doesn't interfere with your private chat, but the relay aspect of it works. I bet it does.
I would imagine.
I bet it does.
I don't know how technical all that stuff is.
It's
how
pretty
difficult.
technical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also if you've got somebody driving from aid station to aid station, what's to stop them from kind of getting on a side road that's not too far from you and chatting with you over?
Yeah.
Again,
Kind of gray area.
in Kevin's world, there should be no radios in racing. In my world,
Yeah.
but if they're allowed, it's not for me to knock people
who
using
cares?
them.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna regulate radios, let's get rid of power meters. Let's all get on the same bike.
Yeah.
I
Make it indie.
Yeah,
little 500.
Yeah.
little 500. And
I've always wanted to do a little 500 themed
so that
gravel
just
race.
happened last week. I saw some reels of that popping up. There's a big crash. A little 500.
I don't even know what that is.
It's just
Oh yeah, you
Kevin
do.
could probably explain it better than I can.
You've seen the movie Breaking Away, right?
It's a Indianapolis and Indies, so the Hoosiers.
Breaking Away is a cycling movie, right? Old.
Yeah, old 80s.
Yeah, the event in Breaking Away is the little 500.
Oh.
It's basically you get on a jogging track
So single speed.
on a
Speed
single.
drop bar.
Everybody's on the same bike, and you actually it's a relay team, and you have to share the bike between the members of the team, sort of thing. So everybody's
The
riding.
fraternities have teams.
Huh. I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's not huge.
I can't know
If you-
everything.
If you didn't go to college, you wouldn't know.
Hey, I learned my social security number at college, and I learned how to tap a keg.
You should know about the little
I
500.
got a formal education, you know?
That was
That's not, serious. It's not a
was
serious athletic achievement to do the little 500.
no,
Like, it's cool
no.
for
But
your-
Breaking, I thought every cyclist was a big fan of the Breaking Away movie. Maybe I'm too old.
I mean, I saw it, but it was 30
Okay.
years ago
Yeah.
when I saw it.
Well, it's off of that.
That's where that was. I think that was the first.
But
Yeah.
it's like a Kieran, but
Yeah.
or is it Kieran?
Kieran.
Yeah, it's like a Kieran, but on a rubber track.
Yeah.
Like a
Are they fixed
running
gears?
track.
Or
No,
just
No,
single speed?
just single speed, not fixed.
and it's with college people who aren't necessarily.
They're not
cyclists.
really cyclists.
They're like they could be runners
But
or
do they have to
swimmers.
clock 500 miles?
It's 500
As a
laps.
relay.
500 laps.
It's 500 laps of a quarter-mile track.
Oh, okay.
So 115 miles per
Yeah.
hour.
So Colonels used to do, I forgot what they called it, like a matched gear ride, where they were all on single speeds and they all agreed, had like a gentleman's agreement to run the exact same gear. And
Something like that.
yeah, and but they
Same
would do
idea.
a set route or whatever, and it was, from what I understand, it was basically a race. You know,
It's always a race.
unless you're just there for the T-shirt.
Now so it turns into a race.
Yeah, especially at the pointy end. Yeah, but was that event fictional before the movie, or was it a real event?
No, it
and
was
the
a-
movie was.
It was a real.
Highlighting it.
Yeah, the little 500 was it's called the little 500 because it's Indiana University, right? Or so. It's in the Indianapolis 500 era and the Indianapolis 500
Area.
time frame
Yeah.
as well. So it used to be tied very heavily to the Indianapolis 500, but now it's really its own thing, the little 500. But since the movie Breaking Away, it really blew up, kind of like Leadville really blew up after Right Across the Sky, sort of thing.
And they got the broadcasting students out there putting on a show with the radio and broadcasting and making cool announcements.
Yeah.
Practicing announcing.
But yeah,
Super
it
cool.
used to be sponsored by Schwinn, so everybody rode Schwinn single speed drop bar bikes.
Okay.
all the same gear
All-
except for helmets, and you got a kit, so you can dial in your aerodynamics a little bit with the aero helmet. And
So I always wanted to put together some sort of event that everybody was on the same bike, but no, that didn't ever seem to create any interest with anyone.
Yeah, I think there was at some point there was going to be a clunker series or something.
There was.
Or,
Fort Worth Mountain Bike
Fort-
Associated,
yeah,
like
they-
a enduro, clunkers
Yeah,
enduro.
did
and they
some-
were going to have like
Mr.
everybody
Brakes
had the
only.
same beach cruiser or something like that. If I'm
They had
recalling
some
it
rules
correctly.
on it, but it wasn't all the same bike.
Oh, okay.
No, just
Like a coaster brake was the
it had a
requirement.
coaster brake requirement.
Yeah.
Maybe no suspension or something,
Huh, okay.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Fun. Something goofy, dangerous. Going down Sansom on a coaster brake.
Man, there's a learning curve riding
Yeah.
a coaster brake.
I never even owned a coaster brake. That's how far ahead I was.
It's been a while, maybe 10 years ago. I tried to ride a coaster brake bike again. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, especially from a technical aspect where you tend to level your pedals when you're going down
Oh
descents.
yeah, you just grab the.
And if you get any kickback, you're just, you know. So, well, I mean, what's the next race format going to be? I mean, there's been so many different race formats. I didn't even know about the little 500, but you have dirt crits and cross races, and you have, you know, obviously road criteriums, and I mean, gravel races, endurance races, bike packing races,
Alley cat.
downhill, alley cat. Like, is there another format that hasn't been explored? You have Xterra races, you know, we have triathlons, biathlons, duathlons,
raft packing.
I didn't even think about raft packing.
Yeah, people love competition. That's all it is.
That's what it
Love
really boils down to.
Everybody wants to compete in something.
I bet I'm less competitive than you are.
Yeah, so you did Monster Fest or German Fest?
I never have. No.
I've never done that one.
We went up there.
This weekend?
Yeah, we rode from Grapevine and did the rally.
Yeah.
We
How
had a
was
nice
that?
little group. It's good. We've done that probably 6 times now.
Yeah.
That ride. It's
Yeah.
nice. 130 miles ish.
And then you
I
just
didn't,
drink all the German beer and then
Yeah, I probably had 3 or
Takes
4
forever home.
beers. And no, we had a friend drive our van up
yeah,
in morning of, and she did the shorter route,
yeah,
and then we just all piled in the van and came home.
very cool. Yeah.
Good ride. And I just remember seeing Adam did that ride back in 2011 or 12, a long time, long before I was even riding.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I didn't
it was
do it.
from this area up to there.
I was never
rally guy.
been a road guy. I've done a couple. I did what's the big one? Hotter Than Hell.
Yeah.
I did that exactly one time. And I did it on a fixed gear.
Oof. It's a dangerous one.
Just the crowd
Exemplified.
size.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
like you can't control
Yeah.
the try guy riding a 0 bars in a group of 100 guys.
There's so many Freds out there on $10,000 bikes, and it's like, what's
Sketchy.
going on?
For some reason, Stephanie ends up with them on the start and always has an issue.
Yeah.
Someone crashing in front of her or something.
I saw so many people just look like it was their first time in clipless pedals.
Oh, man.
And then I've done the peach pedal a couple of times. I'm trying to think of what other road rallies.
Did you do the
Goat
Lancaster one? You didn't do it?
Oh, Goat Neck out of Benbrook.
Yeah.
Cleaver.
I've been almost allergic to road riding since the beginning. I'd much rather be on gravel or trail.
Short, baggy shorts kind of guy.
Yeah, and plaid,
Loud, yeah. Yeah, flannel.
flannel. But I don't know. I don't garner any enjoyment out of road riding. I know that there's a net benefit, obviously, from a fitness standpoint, but it just doesn't do much for me. Unless I'm on the road to get to a trail or to get to gravel, it doesn't interest me. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the German Fest is cool because it's got the festival at the end, so
Sure.
it's a blast. You
Sure.
hang out with all your friends you just
Yeah.
rode with and tell stories about the ride.
Yeah.
That's what's fun about it.
And that makes
Beer
sense.
and eat.
The social aspect of the rallies is the main
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it brings out competition. People want to race.
Yeah.
It's a race, but it's not really a race.
Yeah.
So did you win?
Yeah, of course I won.
but in a nutshell,
And we saw some Spinistry arrows.
I'm sure you did. When we put this past weekend together, for some reason that didn't register with me that it was Munster weekend
Yeah.
as well. And it's like, I mean, we didn't expect to have 50 people sign up for this thing. It'd been nice, we thought, but we didn't think it was going to happen. Oh, we'll get 25, 30.
Yeah.
And people weren't signing up. And it's like, I don't know what's going on. I thought this was something people would be into. And then on the drive up there Saturday morning, I keep getting passed by all these bikes. It's like, I know they're not going to my thing, but they're all gravel bikes. And then I passed a road time trial bike. It's like, oh, it's Monster Weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, there were a lot of people on gravel bikes.
Oh, most of the vehicles I saw on I-35 were gravel bikes. And so at
Is there
first,
any gravel on the
No,
ground?
not at all.
no,
It's great road, great smooth.
that the rally crowd is on gravel bikes
Yeah.
these days.
So did they have wristbands at this German Fest?
You're supposed to have one. I didn't have one.
What did they look like? Was it blue and white checked?
The one I saw was yellow.
Oh, okay. Because I saw a blue and white checked wristband in the ditch yesterday on our ride. And I thought, I wonder if that's a German Fest. I mean, just saw it just quick.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they may do a
Vicky
different
and I
wristband
were-
every day or
Yeah.
something.
Here, Vicky and I go, I think that was a German Fest wristband in the ditch. We were on Orchid Hill or something. So,
Not too far.
yeah. So,
All right, gents. Well, we've knocked out a good bit of time today.
I think, I don't know. I don't have anything else to talk about.
How about you, Austin? Anything to talk about?
Huh?
Well, good luck with the time trial.
What are you going to get first, an e-bike or a 32-inch?
32 before
32,
we do anything.
yeah.
I'm not old enough for the e-bike yet.
I like that.
One day though.
Yeah.
Sure.
Eventually, it's all coming for us.
Yep.
Tell them what to do, Bradford.
Go ride your bike.